Here we are, another Saturday Night Live, September 5th.
2020.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yeah.
And we're off. There, we got some portals behind us that we may choose to take. But,
Honey.
Tatiana said she's not coming because she's camping, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, camping.
Yeah, she came by.
She came by on Tuesday.
Wonderful soul.
Monday.
She gave us actually some honey.
Honey.
Oh, nice. She came. Beautiful.
Her brother
makes it.
has the bees.
Yeah. So
I didn't know honey this year.
None? They all
Both new hives.
But
you lost them all again?
No, but they come too late. All the we don't get them till May. Because that's the ship date. They won't ship before that for our climate. So they miss all the spring.
Right.
They have to get through the winter to be able to have a shot at getting honey next year.
Wow. It's sad when you see how nature's being affected all around us.
It's terrible.
Not many people give a hoot, you know.
No.
It's,
Not at all.
keep the machine running. More profits, more, everything. Consume.
we can build on
be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Isn't it? Is it more work than enough? I think by the time we become the change we want to see, the change will be.
There's no other way. We got to start somewhere. There is no other way. How you feeling, Steve?
A little challenging this week.
Is it cravings or what? Cravings or
No.
more
I
like
don't know. I don't know because I did two things at the same time, so I don't know what set off the
what?
discomfort. I guess would be a good word. Just
Yeah.
physical discomfort. Well, I had a golfing session on Monday, which was really freaking intense.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, this is one of the most. These last three must be 2 weeks apart, and I didn't know why, but now I do. But then I did the 3-day drive with that, so I. It was challenging.
Yeah.
Challenging.
Yeah, well, it's probably both.
Yes.
Yeah, dry.
It's
And I had some crazy freaking releases again, but not till 2 days after the drive.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, it happens after,
like
a few days after.
Yeah.
Yeah, immediately, because
Well,
your body has to flush it.
you know, as we
But-
go on.
But
Well,
it's
that's just that last year. It was almost immediate. It was happened almost immediately as soon as I started.
it takes time for me.
This year, this fast. It's
like 2-3 days after.
the following day.
Yeah, 2-3 days after.
2
Yeah.
days, yeah.
And what's like unique about them? Is it like the smell?
So these long ropes again. Yeah, not very pleasant smell either.
Oh yeah, the smell.
It's getting deep.
Because it's very deep. Yeah.
It's getting deep.
Yeah, you can tell it's coming from your cells. You know, like from the.
Today is 48 days. So I'm starting to approach where my max was 63. So we're getting there.
Yeah. What?
I knew after 40 from last year. I knew after 40 would cut. It seems like once you hit 40, I don't know if it's just me or everybody, it gets to a whole different level.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If I remember, I think 60-ish was like even another.
Oh yeah. After 2 months.
Yeah.
It's another story.
Yeah. Totally.
2 or 3 months. Yeah, you're in another.
Fasting
almost another world. You know.
It's exponential.
Yeah. It's getting deep.
And it just goes straight up like a rocket. And then you're in that realm. And
But I feel today I felt not as good. Yesterday I felt really good. Today was a little. I did yoga this morning. And I probably should not have done that. But.
What day are you today?
48.
Yeah, I mean.
No, just from the raw thing, I probably should have taken it a little easier.
I think it's because you did it during the drive. The drive is very powerful. I mean, this is a monthly one, right? So.
I did 40 hours dry, and then semi-dry for the remainder.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. And the weight just freaking plummeted. I went down to 132 pounds.
Yeah. The weight will go down fast. Yeah.
Came up a little bit. It's about 130.
Especially, I feel usually when I sleep less because I'm working late at night or something. I feel my weight even goes down faster because I'm more activity time. Even if you're sitting down and working.
Well, it was fairly stable for the first 30 days or so. I lost a little bit in the beginning, but
yeah,
the last 10, 12 days, it's starting to, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Right, it's great.
I don't care about
whatever
that.
it is. It's good news. Whatever it is, it's good news. When you're fasting.
The last year, I don't know what it was. The one I finished in December, I think I got down to 118 pounds.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That was in about 60 days. I think that was a 61 day and I broke it. So.
Yeah, it means, that it just means that the body is working.
Oh, yeah.
It's dumping. I mean, you're saying.
Freaking super bowels, I'm telling you. As soon as I drink that juice, it was probably 5 minutes after I drank that, after I had that bubbly that I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's but it's, you can tell from the smell. And it's different than when you're drinking.
Very different.
And it's very different than when you're eating, for sure.
Oh, without doubt.
Yeah.
Very black, very oily.
Yeah, oily as well.
Well, I still think it's the pharmaceuticals purging still.
Mucus also is oily, right? Mucus, like
the mucus seems to be more whitish.
Yeah, I know, but in general, if you touch the mucus, it's oily. It's oil. Yeah. It's oil. I have touched the mucus before, like in different areas in my body, and it's fat. And I was like, how am I have fat here? I am fasting, I'm drinking, I'm not eating, zero fat, but it's the mucus. And it's fat that I ate from before. I'm sure it's causing it stays inside us as mucus. It blocks us, right? Fat is one thing. Fat is one thing.
Your body will create it if you don't eat it.
Well, yeah, but the body is releasing it. The body doesn't want this stuff.
It's releasing it because that's where it locks up the toxins in the fat.
Yeah.
The body will hold it in the fat to protect itself.
Yeah.
That's the only thing it's got. So if it doesn't have any fat, it's going to produce the fat to protect itself. Otherwise.
No, but we have so much fat consumed throughout how many years of my life? 41 years? All the fat that I've eaten, of course it's stuck inside as well. That's the toxins.
Yeah, but the body's going to have to make it.
I mean, toxins, that means obstructions,
It's going to have to make it. It's going to have to use its energies to make it. Anyway, the body gets rid of what it doesn't need. We don't have to worry about it. It's just let it dump.
Yeah, but it could be from the fat that you ate in the past.
It can do whatever it wants right now. Nothing's getting in. That's the beauty of it. Nothing out there is penetrating. It's all out.
I mean,
all the bullshit that's going on, it's just held out because the energy is so high. Nothing's penetrating.
Awesome. And there's a lot of bullshit now.
When is there no bullshit? Hello?
There's never been like right now.
Not like this.
Never. That we know of.
What is going on right now?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Look outside with people wearing masks.
Oh my God! You got the ultimate today. Yeah. The freaking ultimate in absurdity. When I was coming home from my yoga class, there was a beautiful freaking car coming down the road. It was a convertible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a beautiful day today. Sunshine all day, no clouds in the sky. The son of a bitch had a mask on in a convertible with a top down.
That's how much in fear people are. We gotta feel for them. They're running in fear. Like today, walking on the sidewalk, this woman's coming with a mask. She goes right around us to avoid us.
Okay, respect.
We're just in fear.
Respect. Yeah. Who cares? Fear has been there all the time.
If nobody cares, then the world is going to be in worse state than it is.
You know, like,
we feel for these people. They're in a complete ignorant, fearful state. You have to feel for them.
you know, like, all my life, I think,
Officially,
majority of my life, I was also afraid. Maybe before the master fast more than ever, before my first 108 days, which is before the master fast. Even with raw foods, you still, you know, you're not sure, you know, you still feel your body is, you know, not 100% transformed. I mean, even 108 days, you don't really 100% transform, but you really transform. And I was always afraid, of course, because my mom had breast cancer when she was 32, and she died 2 years after. So, you know, you hear from people, oh, you know, you need to be careful because your mom died of it, you know, and I don't like that. Don't tell me, don't make me, don't put your fear on me. I mean, I don't like that. It's not like you're more lucky than me.
No.
We're equal, you know. I don't like that at all. I don't like it when people differentiate like this.
Well, that's just,
Yeah.
that's programming running.
Yeah. So,
You can break any cycle.
yeah. So, but I was always scared, right? I was always afraid. And so I understand why people are be afraid, because you don't know any better. You have no clue how the body can transform itself and heal itself until you go through a nice, you know, good cleanse like the master fast that really rids your body of a lot of stuff, obstructions. And you feel it. You feel it. When you feel things, that's another story. It's in your heart. You feel it. You feel the truth.
A lot of emotional shit that's just fallen off too.
Amazing. Yeah.
People choose to be ignorant. The information that's been censored left, right, and center, people choose not to listen to that and listen to the mainstream stuff.
Yes,
so they
Gino.
choose to be ignorant right now. Officially, by the main, not the main, what's it? The CDC released. There isn't any. There was never a pandemic. 6%. Oh, what they say. What did I say way from the start? Nobody dies from viruses.
It's actually.
So they say 6%. I say nobody. I still say nobody dies from viruses. It's your lifestyle choices.
You know, it's actually all over the news, which is great. It's great. I love that. I found today. I got an Arabic video in Saudi Arabia by a Saudi guy. I don't know what his position is, but you know, talking to the health minister about the vaccine, that this whole thing is very suspicious. You know, the whole pandemic thing is very suspicious, and you need to give people a choice to get vaccinated or not to get vaccinated. It should not be forced. And there was, you know, parts of like Bill Gates' video and this and that, and like he took really, and even the 6% from the CDC, right? So they're up to date, and this was a new video just released today. I loved it. I'm like, okay, thank God they're up to date, you know, and they are talking. The people are talking. They don't care. What is the Minister of Health going to do to them? You know, it's a kingdom, but still, I love to see that. I'm happy to see that.
Also, I can't remember the exact number, but it was a huge percentage of healthcare workers in the U.S. that were either fired or resigning. We wonder why. Because it's either their morals caught up with them because they're so deep in the shit they can't swim out anymore, or they've been caught, or you know,
there's a lot that's starting to happen down here. There, especially with the pedophilia, there is a lot.
Oh yeah,
really starting to happen.
Almost every week, sometimes twice a week, you find something new.
About what?
People being caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What do you mean, people? Like.
Oh yeah, that's Trump. Like, no Trump, this never would come to the light of day. Not if some other folks have gotten in.
Yeah, we're not talking any political stuff here, but
no, This is not political.
Yeah,
If he
this
was
is
not
happening.
elected,
This,
this would
it's
not be
going
happening.
on. This was not happening before. So something has changed.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you see, yeah, I don't know much about Trump. No, like, who knows? Right?
I don't get into politics myself, but like I was saying,
Yeah, like he's done a few things, like giving, for example, the capital of Palestine to Israel, for example. Like it's so some. He's not perfect. Okay, he's not God. Okay, we understand.
That's all strategic bullshit, though. I don't know.
I know, but it affects many people.
Of course, I don't agree with it at all whatsoever.
Yeah, but in
You
general,
know what I did for a long time agree with Israel for a
Yeah.
lot of years
Yeah.
until I started doing a little investigation.
I'm sure he wouldn't agree if he knew what's happening there. Maybe he doesn't. But in
His
general,
son-in-law advising him.
yeah, exactly. But in general, like seeing what he's done to pull out of the support for the World Health Organization, and to see that he's like not 100%, like not yet 100% pro-vaccination, and to hear about pedophilia. Who knows if he's involved with like I mean with removing or whatever, like eliminating them. Who knows? Nobody knows, right? Like there's no evidence, and I don't think he's talking about it.
he signed what do you call it?
Yeah, I forgot what bill that was. The executive order.
To go after them.
It set up the ability to prosecute these.
Right. That wasn't his first or second year.
Because somebody asked him on
That
the
was early on. Absolutely.
somebody asked him on the news if he's involved with like what do you call it, like if he's involved with all these people that are being exposed, exposing them, right, and dealing with them. And he said no. He said, what did he say? He said, I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about that. Yeah.
He's not going to tell you.
So it seems like he's not talking about it.
He's not going to tell you exactly.
But overall,
he said right up front, he said, "I'm going to do things. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing."
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, I honestly, I like what he's doing overall. I don't know. I just feel like what he's doing.
I can't stand any politics.
No.
I feel what overall,
We don't need politicians.
Nobody is perfect.
They're useless.
Our governor became king. I think I told you last week or before Wednesday that.
Became what?
The governor of Connecticut, he was given, the legislature granted him sovereignty pretty much. They inaugurated him as a freaking king for the last 6 months. So everything he's doing is by executive order. It was only for 6 months and it was supposed to expire on the 31st last month. So he extended it. They gave him the power to extend it. And then the same freaking board approved it. So he gets to rule pretty much, and that's what he's doing, is ruling with the stroke of the pen.
So is
Another 6 months. So he can do whatever he wants.
Is he in agreement with Trump?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody should.
Oh, no.
No man should ever have that power over anybody else.
And then and the supposed
That's crazy because he's not the
supposed opposition party is silent.
The thing is, it's not a man. It's the fiction world that they're using.
Exactly what it is.
It's not a man. So.
And he's ruling just like a freaking monarch, just like a king.
Yeah, we're allowing it. The problem is we allow it. That's the freaking problem.
It's probably worse.
That's what I'm saying. That nobody's challenging it.
It's probably worse.
It's not being challenged. Not being challenged by the opposition. It's not being challenged by the citizens.
In kingdom, that okay, he's the king, and that you can only do so much. But here, it's not a kingdom, but it's happened. Like they're taking over. Like
crazy.
People think it's the right thing.
They don't give a crap. There was a big push here to get our highways are toll free. There's no tolls on our highways in the state. They've been pushing for that forever. And he tried to ram it through when he got elected. What was it, 2 years ago?
Oh, it's never been toll?
Yeah, a couple of decades ago. And then they removed them.
Mm-hmm.
So it got shot down. The legislature, because it's election season, the legislature shot it down. And come to find out, they're very quietly, they've been pouring the footings for the gantries. So
Yeah.
they do whatever they want. They don't give a shit.
Politics.
I
Stay away.
there's nothing to say about these guys.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, my dad is like that.
They're all
too.
gonna
He's
pay.
like,
It gets,
They're all gonna pay for whatever they do. It's you can't escape the universal laws. You can't escape them. I don't care
it's
how
true.
much they think they're getting away with it. You can't
Yeah.
escape. You
It's
got
not
the
gonna
mirror
make
of
you-
truth. You're gonna have to face your soul. It's gonna be right there, and there you're gonna be looking at. Oh my God, what did I do?
You're not gonna be
What
much
did I
happier.
do? Who are you gonna have to? Who are you gonna have to? Bullshit to yourself. We see it in Masterfast.
oh yeah,
People lie to themselves
all the time.
continuously.
It's okay. Nobody's perfect. You know?
Nobody's
It's
perfect.
okay.
We all do it. We
We do
all
it. We
do
do it
it.
too.
I'm not. s-
You can rationalize anything.
We
This
do
is.
our best, not to do it and remind ourselves.
I'm the master. That's why
No,
that's
Gino.
where this information came through because I've done it so much. Then you say, man, I gotta stop banging my head against the wall. It's I'm doing this myself. You can't look at anybody else because in those days there was nobody else to look at. There was nothing to look at to compare myself because nobody was doing this stuff. So it was a long, lonely learning road, and it was the best experience to come through with this information. At the end of it, it's so simple and so powerful that you don't have to know, you don't have to think. It all happens in autopilot, dictated through our soul. Bang, 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 bang. Just lay back and allow it to happen, and all is well. But it's too difficult for people to do that because they're used to the drama, stimulants, this, that, the other thing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's not
It is difficult for
what
us.
we
too.
are. That's not what we are used to being. The way we were brought up, we were used to all this stuff, especially now with the internet and everything, all this drama stuff. Stimulants. People don't get that. They're fixed every day. They're going to be lost, and we see it. We've seen it, and we see it over and over. People are jumping from one thing to another, to another, to another, to another. I was there. It's just.
We're still there. We still have a lot of work
We keep going, but
to do on
we have
ourselves.
the foundation to know that there's no other option. You got to keep going. What other option are you going to do? Start putting a mask on?
Not a chance.
No freaking way. I ain't putting no freaking mask. No.
I mean, it's not just you keep going. You thrive. You thrive. You have to really.
People are not used to being in a thriving state.
It's okay, but you be the change that you want to
Yes.
see. Who cares about what they want to do? So yeah, for us, what do we want to do? Just no, I want to thrive. I don't just want to keep going. I want to thrive. I want to transform. Yeah, I'm not
Well,
gonna.
yeah, you're never going to stay stagnant. You can't.
I want to grow.
Movement is life, whether it's physical or spiritual.
Stagnation is disease. There's no stagnation.
Stagnation is death.
No universes have stagnation. Everything is continuously.
That's probably a good description of what that smelled like too. Is probably death.
Stagnation.
Stuff that came out. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, stagnation.
Yeah, and when that stuff starts
It's
coming
like a
out,
dead
man,
body, right?
what happens immediately? As soon as it's released, bang! Holy mac!
Oh yeah.
And we're in that beautiful, wonderful state that those obstructions get released, and we feel freaking amazing. Hello, Joy. Joy. So much joy, we say it twice. How you doing, Joy?
Yeah.
Joy.
I like to, I tell Gino is quite busy, but I tell him, can we please sit down and discuss things, because it's so busy. Life is so busy. It's so many distractions, so many, like you come to your computer and there are so many pages open and you open it and you check this and you check that and your mind is like lost already, before you did any work. I feel it's just so busy for everybody. And then you have this responsibility and that responsibility and I don't know what. So I feel like it's important for us to kind of meditate, you know, if not by yourself. By yourself would be great, of course, because you have to do it alone, but also with your family, you know, the people who you're close to. If you live with people at home, to kind of meditate on ideas, talk, and, you know, it's okay to have disagreements and to find, you know, to think about what's the way to peace, balance, and correct conduct and different aspects, you know. Like, for example, economics right now is like the economy, you know, the financial system, for example, is one thing, right? The business, the, you know, different things, food, our yeah,
Joy.
our family, friends, you know, our responsibilities. It's important for us to clear our minds about these things and feel blessed about them, you know. I feel like we're doing our best, and that's, you know, the truth that's in our heart, you know. Meditate on it, and together, even, you know, just think about it. Okay, this is the way I see towards peace, balance, and correct conduct, so let's just do that and not think about it. That's it, you know, because otherwise it's always in your head, you know, you're not doing the right thing, and you're not making any action to change it, you know.
Well,
Health is the same, right?
if we look at health generally, right, the way people are programmed to react, you feel something, you wait till you feel something, and then you go see somebody to fix you. Absolutely zero responsibility for yourself. And there's absolute total ignorance of anything to do with generally and what it takes to be healthy. So, you know, with that going on, it's you know, people have no connection with that. But, you know, you look at, for example, you know, the whole thing about, you know, having to work and having to have money to pay for things and so on and so forth. People put way more attention on that than anything else in our society, and they're affected. So, like, look what's happening now. How many, you know, businesses have closed, people have lost jobs, people have lost their businesses, their life savings, et cetera, et cetera. People put way more energy in that than they ever will in health. And, you know, what's the saying? People destroy their health trying to gain wealth, and then spend all their wealth trying to regain their health.
Yeah.
And the money is not going to give you health. It's simple knowledge, which is available to every single one of us.
Same thing with money is.
Through diet, that's why. The ones that are trying think they can do it through diet.
Yeah, and
My sister-in-law's got, I think I mentioned it, she got cancer. I asked my wife went down to see her yesterday, the day before, and I asked how she was doing. And she started rattling off things, and I said she should fast, not go on the chemo. Too late, she's already on the chemo. But her diet's good. I said, that don't belong in the same sentence.
Yeah, it's
yeah, you gotta give your body a break, right?
But they want you to eat protein and all this crap that's just going to feed the cancer.
Yeah.
they put so much
Obstructions.
fear in people, and the people buy into it. They buy into that stuff. They believe the doctors. Otherwise, they wouldn't go allow themselves to go get butchered and poisoned. They believe in it.
When you go to that, when you become like, when you go to that stage where you have like a very serious disease, okay, whatever, serious imbalance, okay, you're kind of helpless and you're scared to death. You're already scared before you become diagnosed, okay? And imagine when you get diagnosed with something serious, you're gonna be even more scared. But don't forget, they were scared before they got the cancer. They were scared. So they're gonna be even more scared now.
Well, especially if somebody's in a situation where they can barely move.
Yeah.
They're very vulnerable.
Well, she was having some severe back pain, whatever is growing is creating a lot of physical discomfort.
Yeah, and you're in that situation, and then you want to fast, and you have to convince other people in your family to assist you in that. Good luck.
No, not only that, you have to convince yourself. Okay?
Yeah, after you convince yourself,
if you do
if
the
you're in a
math,
vulnerable, you put yourself in that state where you can't do anything anymore.
but you remember,
Good luck.
Gino, you can't convince yourself about Master Fast. Master Fast, you read it, it makes sense to you, okay, you do it, and then you believe in it after you do it. You don't believe in it 100%.
Oh, I believed it. I believed it the first time I read it.
But, okay, you can believe all you want theoretically, okay, but when you do it and you prove it to yourself over and over and over, then the belief and
The
the
understanding comes through
the programming.
Well, coming from the other modality, as soon as I come in here, I knew that this was it.
Yeah.
There was no question. As soon as I read.
The experience gives us the understand, but the belief, once you're exposed to the information, there has to be some belief there. Otherwise, you won't do anything. So once and then you start experiencing, then the understanding comes
Also,
through.
you were into Arnold Eretz, right? So, which is very, like, we are into Arnold Eretz as well. And so, like, the formula makes sense to you before you came here. So it was easier for you. But for somebody who has no idea, coming from a standard diet, okay, to change their belief and to believe in this whole thing, and less is more, it's going to take them a while. It's going to take them trial and error, a couple of them before they believe. But if they have cancer already, what can you do? Usually they don't last. They don't last because they can't change their belief fast enough.
Our website's been crashing. It's getting hit more than it's ever been. Just, surfers, just using the website. But like we always said, with the people that are doing, it's not a small percentage, a very small percentage. There's a lot of people that just will not share. And we get messages from here and there, thanking us, but they won't share, which is, the understanding is not there that to keep the plasma love always flowing, you have to share. It's part of who we are, because we are all connected to each other, and it allows everything to build up and build strength, but very, very few understand that. And
in AA.
Yeah, same thing.
You can't keep it. You have to give it away. Period. You can't keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. There's no. It's just part of it. This is part of who we are. We're social beings, and what have they done to us? Taking away our social, behaviors.
Well, hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
See you.
Hi. Yeah, I know. I'm shy. But I mean, we're seeing this going on with everything going on in out in the world. I mean, I walk in the grocery store without a mask on, and I can tell half the people are looking at me like,
daggers in their eyes.
well, half are looking at me like, what is she doing? And then the other half are looking at me like, do I have to wear one? So, I think a lot of people, and that's what you're talking about, and the more people share, the more people, because we are tribal, so we want to fit in. For sure. And it's definitely, and the mind control right now is pretty unbelievable.
Like never before.
Never.
Mark, do you prefer to wear a mask or no mask?
I wear at work.
I know, but do you prefer to wear, or you like to be exempt?
Exempt.
It's very interesting times. I really would have never believed that the whole planet would comply this easily. I'm in shock.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Never seen
What
that.
did they want? What did they want to do if the authority is telling them to put a mask on?
Who's the authorities?
Planetary
Us.
It's all mind. It's that shows you how powerful the mind is. Because, I mean, I I feel like I'm somewhat of an activist right now. I'm handing out flyers when I'm going anywhere, and what I find is that most people know this isn't right, but they don't even know where to start, or they don't know, they just figure this is what everyone's doing, so this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, I mean, really, the powers that be have planned this for decades.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
You said how powerful the mind is.
but all you have to do is ask people.
Mhm.
It's not.
Ask people if you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, you said how powerful the mind is. Not how powerful. It's how powerful the programming that they use
Yeah.
to control the mind.
Yeah, and you
Like-
allow it.
For sure.
You're allowed to be controlled. by
They're
your-
masters at programming the masses. If you don't believe it now, man, oh man.
What do you think the cell phone and the internet were developed for? Television?
Tell a vision.
Yeah.
Cast a spell. The cast.
Well, that's programming, so there you go.
Yeah, exactly. I always say to people, if anyone says anything to me about a mask, I say, if you care so much about your health, what's in your cart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little front forward when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, well, it's good to be, because you have to put things in people's face to give them a little shake and maybe plant that seed for them to actually get off their ass and do some homework and try and, find some real information instead of just following the mainstream stuff.
Where
Which
did
is
we go? Yeah, the other
then
day.
destroying them.
The other day we went, the three of us. Where did we go?
Laws.
Was it Lowe's?
Yeah, laws.
And somebody asked us,
Some lady.
where's your mask?
Lady.
And then Gina said, oh, I'm exempt. And then I'm right next to you, I'm exempt. And Marco, I'm exempt. All of you are exempt? Yeah, okay.
I go, oh yeah, it's IKEA. I go, yeah, we're special. I
I
started
think
laughing.
there was another place where,
IKEA.
again, the same thing. I don't know, maybe.
Anywhere we go, we're the only ones with no
But I-
masks.
No mask, but like here, the
I
bracelet.
love it. You know how she was
Yeah.
surprised that the three of us are exempt. Well, we come from the same home and the same mentality. What do you think? You know?
You gotta laugh. You really gotta laugh because
If it weren't so sad.
yeah, it's sad. It's just like I said, I can't believe that everybody just fell for this without even having any resistance or questioning or anything. It's just too much. And now the way they're shutting down and censoring everything, my goodness gracious, they're censoring scientists, top scientists, doctors. They're censoring all this, their own stuff, and they have no science themselves. There's nothing. Our governments do. Anybody who asks for questions, they just shut you down. They won't even answer. It's just, this is the way it is. They're going to push forth their agenda, and they don't care about anything else. Because we were just talking earlier. The CDC released. They claimed, now it's only 6% that died of COVID. I've been saying from the beginning, nobody dies of viruses. Doesn't matter what they say. You die of your lifestyle choices. And, so they came down quite a bit from whatever, now it's only 6%. That's even
But yet
too high.
they've turned up the wearing masks since then. Now it's even more in other places.
It's crazy. It's insane. Nothing makes any sense.
Where do you live, Joy?
Right now I'm in an RV, but I've since this started, I've been in Mexico, I've been in Arizona, and I'm currently outside of Austin. And actually I was also in Arkansas. So I've seen different communities and how things are in different areas. And I mean, it's true. Everybody complies. Everybody's tribal. Everybody complies, even in Mexico. Small towns, they don't believe it at all. Most of the small towns in America, they all think it's the election, which, they're programmed to think that as well. They live in their bubble thinking this isn't in the entire world. Cities are the worst. I mean, cities are just mind-blowing. Texas is mind-blowing. Everybody, at least in Arizona, I would meet people in every store that wasn't wearing a mask.
No.
Whereas here, I'm the only one. So it's
Really? In Texas?
Yeah, and I think it's because Texans like to get along. You know, they kind of go along to get along, and they don't say anything. That's the difference. So in Arizona, I would, what?
Probably too many Californians moved in.
Yeah, true. But in Arizona, I was threatened. They were going to call the police on me. Let me see what else. I was kicked out of a couple places and people yelling at me when I was being kicked out. So it was a lot more aggressive, whereas in Texas, none of that. Nobody has said anything. Nobody's ever said, where's your mask or anything here. So it's interesting to see the differences. And in Mexico, I was surprised because I was in a small town and I'd go into Puerto Vallarta and you know, Mexicans don't, well, I mean, this is such a generalization, but there was a mix. There was a real mix. And I was on buses, you know, nothing makes sense. Like people walking along the street, along the ocean wearing a mask, but then I'd be on a bus and it would be like person to person, no masks and people hacking. I was like, does anybody ask any questions? Because I don't know. Just crazy. But in Mexico, they take temperatures. They do a lot more things that they don't do here. So that was a little unnerving.
Yeah, well, it's getting more and more interesting every day.
What's it like in Canada?
Well, Canada's a big country. We're, you know, where we are here, we're just outside of Toronto, north of Toronto, and everybody's got masks. People walking the streets got masks.
Not everybody.
Not everybody on the streets, but when you go in stores, because it's mandated that you have to wear
indoors.
Any public indoor environments, right? Yeah. It's mandated. So people very, very rare. I've seen in these few months now that they mandated maybe 3 people with no masks in all the places I went.
Yeah, I remember also. Yeah.
We only got kicked out of one store. It was a place we were looking at tiles. The lady comes running. Where's your mask?
You know,
we're exempt. Oh no! Exempt is only within so many hours. Goodbye. You know. Yeah, I got the store written down there. I'm gonna put a complaint in when I have some time. I just don't have time because they can't do that. They can't.
It's okay. They lost your business.
Yeah, of course, but it's good to put a complaint because the law protects, you know, yourself if you have any medical condition, religious belief, or a creed. You know, it doesn't have to be medical. I mean,
Canada's like here.
I can't breathe. I can't freaking.
It's full of immigrants like me, for example. I think if I haven't met Gino, I would just wear a mask. You know, good to make my life easier.
And that's what people do.
So immigrants, you know, we weren't born in this country, so we don't feel like, you know, like we have the rights to kind of.
That's the problem.
To speak up, you know. Yeah, like
I don't need to stir the
pot. For example, my sisters, they don't want to deal with it. If they have to wear a mask, they wear a mask.
Next thing you know, we're lining up for the ovens.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
That's how
somebody said to me.
That's exactly what I thought of when this thing started, and I saw how quick it was going. It's like,
yeah. Well,
somebody said to me that in America, Black people could stop this in this one moment. Nobody would confront them right now based on everything going on. If they just didn't wear a mask, it would be over. And it's so true. Nobody would confront. I actually talked to some people that I saw in the store, and he said he had not one person ever said a thing to him. Never asked a mask. He never into Walmart of all places, because that place is very you know, they've got the gatekeepers.
We went to Walmart. No problem.
You were fine in Walmart?
Yeah, exempt. Walk in, no problem. Yeah. I got a few stores here and there. Some people, you know, where's your mask?
Yeah,
I'm exempt. No, where's your mask? You need one? We give you one. No, no, no. I don't wear a mask. I'm exempt. And if I have to educate you, I have to charge for my time. And I just walk in.
That's great.
Read the laws. It's all there. It's you guys have it in the States too. There's similar law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just know your
Not
stuff.
when you got a king ruling.
Well, I know, but you gotta remember they're ruling the persons. They can't rule a man and woman. They cannot rule a man, woman. They can only rule the fiction personhood. And that's the difference. And people, they don't believe it in their heart, and then they will fall into entrapment and comply. If you don't know who you are, you will become a slave, or you are a slave. And there's just no room for that left. You know, if we continue down this path, we're doomed. But I can't see them. More and more and more people are waking up on a grand scale all over the world. So, you know, all the information's coming forth more and more. The truth cannot be hidden anymore. We're in the era of light, you know, the Aquarian age, the knowledge. It's there everywhere. The stuff that these leaders are saying, they're contradicting themselves left, right, and center, just lying through their teeth. It's just like there's still people believing it, but hey, people are waking up, and
That's what matters.
you never ever underestimate the power of the light, because that's what created us, and that's what's going to ultimately come through and wake everybody up and save us. So we just have to continuously feed each other with light, plasma love always flowing. Just continuously feed. When you see people in these vulnerable situations, that in an ignorant situation, we just elevate their souls, elevate their souls, elevate their souls. That's all we can do. Because trying to deal with it in matter state, it ain't working. We're all wearing masks out there. It hasn't worked up to now. It's not going to work. We need to go into higher order, into the realm of fields, because that's where everything comes to create matter, and we work with that and continuously stay focused on that. Even if you don't believe it, fake it, and just put it in your heart and just fake it, and you'll start seeing things manifesting little by little from the emotion and intent that you put in these fields, and then you'll start believing more and more and more. And that's the way it is. It's like MFS. You start with a million questions and doubts, and then you start cleaning out, and holy geez, what these people are saying, maybe, you know, there's some truth to it. The more you do it, the more you see how powerful when you work with the fields and watch the soul work its magic. Simple. So that's what we have to work with. We don't have to, but that's what we should choose to work with if we want to make some changes to it within ourselves. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in this confusion, spiraling out more and more and more confusion. And that gets us nowhere fast. It's interesting times. So we just embrace them. What do you say, Mark?
Good. We just came from Jitsu.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu.
Next time we're going to beat you up.
Oh.
Boy.
Yeah, I find that not wearing a mask, I feel like it's my duty when I don't wear one to, because I have a little headband that I use. It's pointless. It's ridiculous. But if I run into a situation where I don't want to be confronted, I'll put it on. But I feel like when I don't, majority of the time I don't wear it, and it's my duty to smile to everybody, because, especially kids, because I feel like. And it helps me also stay in that state. But I just see these little kids that are seeing no expression, and
The damage being done to the kids is incredible.
Yeah. They understand.
That won't manifest for years to come.
Yeah. It's doing a lot of damage psychological to especially the children. But you know, that's what you just said, you know, smile at these little children, you know, that just makes their day. Because they know about the fields way more than we do.
Oh yeah.
they play.
Yeah, and they stare at me. I can tell they're just watching, because I don't have, most of the time I don't have a mask on, And it's not even a mask that what I use, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
I either have a fishnet that I put over my face, a mosquito netting, or it's like this. It's so stupid because, in fact, I saw another woman with it on, and I said, okay, so you don't believe in it either, because anyone that's wearing that doesn't. They're just complying. They don't believe in the whole story. So I do miss that about Arizona. I felt like there were a lot of people. I would meet instant best friends, like they filter everybody out for you.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Fortunately. Yep.
We got to stay focused more than ever. It's gonna be some challenging times, until the energies start to shift the end of January. So it's crazy. It's crazy, but people are so asleep now. Even if you hand them Agenda 2030 and they read it, they're still going to keep their masks on. So I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, she said before Trump even got elected, there'll be a pandemic during his term.
Yeah, there was I think I posted a whole thing on some export thing from Canada in 2018 of all COVID testing equipment and stuff from 2018. COVID-19.
Yeah.
What? How can that be? It's all, like I said, they cannot hide the truth. You just start digging, it's all in front of our eyes. They can't keep it from
That shows you the mind control, though, because it is all right there, and yet people still believe the narrative. It's for those of us with eyes to see. It's like we're in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it's scary because mob rules, right? You get in a situation, and it's been happening. People getting attacked.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
I just wonder, though, if anything goes viral, I really believe it's propaganda. So I think some of these mob attacks are designed to keep people afraid and keep people. But when you talk one-on-one with people, at least when I do, I find that most people are awake or they're eager they know something's not right, and so I hand them the little flyer that I give to everyone, and they're I get more thank yous. In the beginning I had people throw it back at me or say they weren't interested, but I haven't since for the last month and a half. It's been nonstop. People are they want an alternative to what they're being told. So, and I'm only one person, so it's one-on-one, but everyone I talk to is having the same experience. So I think that a lot of that mob stuff I think that's propaganda.
Oh yeah, all goes back to a few people.
Right.
There was what was that latest one with that senator that he was attacked?
Oh yeah, Rand Paul.
Yeah, and the guys that were attacking were staying in the same luxury hotel he was.
Yeah, but that's not mob rule. That is propaganda.
Yeah,
that is paid for people.
Yeah, but these are mobs that are paid.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not the general consensus of general people.
No. But when you're in that situation, what do you do when you're on your own?
For sure. Yeah.
Well, you're 45.
You can't reason with these people.
Oh.
They're completely robots. They're programmed. Like there was a guy, Dan Hicks, who's alternative news up here in BC. He was almost pretty much attacked. He's trying to reason. There was absolutely no way you can reason with any of them. And it was getting more and more. And then the police came in. You can't reason. It's absolutely mind controlled. You can see it clearly how it is. It's complete mind control. So yeah.
For sure.
We
I'm from Portland. I'm from Portland originally, and trying to have a conversation with my family is just
Lord.
unbelievable. I mean, they are so under mind control. I mean, I just ask them the most simple questions and they get upset or they avoid it and tell me just to wear a mask. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I think it's a cultural thing, and cultural is cult. So
Yeah.
it's,
So
yeah.
you're just traveling now?
No, I mean, I've been in and out of RV for the last 15 years. So
Oh,
this is, yeah, this isn't unusual for me. I've been trying to find a place to park myself, and I was in process of doing that, and all this COVID stuff happened. So now I've been like, where do I go? What do I do? I mean, personally, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, I really think that there's a much bigger agenda behind this, and it has nothing to do with anything that we think. I think that there is
of course.
an earth shift or some sort of planetary thing that's about to happen, and they're just trying to see where their weaknesses are. You know, this is just like a tool of compliance right now. So
Yeah, well, what they like, if you read Agenda 2030, that's in the public for what they want you to know. What's behind that? That's the question. What's behind that?
right. But what an incredible time to be alive, if you really think about it. You know, this is like, we are living in probably some extreme, profound history right now.
For sure.
I want some tea.
Yeah. Mark's making the tea.
Tea is herbs.
He's-
Steve, what are you doing?
Waiting for the tea.
He's been drinking tea with us almost every night.
Good.
So get something.
Great.
Yeah.
It's good. Herbs that made me go bottom.
Awesome.
Can't believe this.
How's Virginia?
Who's in Virginia?
Aren't you in Virginia?
Me?
No.
Are you, where?
Toronto. He's in Toronto.
Or Toronto.
Just north of Toronto.
No.
What was that?
Wait, where's Steve? I thought Steve was in Virginia.
Steve.
He's where?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Connecticut?
Yeah.
I don't know why I always thought you were in Virginia.
That's swampland down there. It's too close to DC.
Swampland?
Yeah, that's where the swamp is. DC is the swamp, right?
I don't know. I think it's now in Colorado.
Connecticut is,
Yeah.
Mark.
Connecticut is probably one of the bluest states in the country.
So does that mean a lot of masks?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of compliance. No, you want to talk about not even be able to talk to people. It's incredible here.
Boy. It's
We have to find the
No,
bubble.
it's like the rest of the country. I shouldn't say that because it's like the rest of the country. It's ruled by the city because that's where they have all the corruption. You get outside the cities, and most people are more on the conservative side, which from my experience, the more conservative you are, the more logical you are. And these leftists up here are just as bad as everybody else all over the country. There's just, it's like a freaking religion to them. And you cannot talk to them, no matter what.
yeah.
And Connecticut's been ruled by these people. It's been a one-party rule for probably the last 50 years. Connecticut in the early 1900s, being the insurance capital of the country, was actually Hartford, Connecticut, which is the state capital, was the wealthiest city in the nation 100 years ago. This state is probably one of the most indebted states now. Not that they all aren't, but We're like right behind New Jersey and California. Because they took over.
Yeah, they've taken over the freaking planet.
Yes, they have.
We allowed it. So we're the
But
ones.
it's not even a leftist. It's not even a left-right because that's just a distraction.
Yeah. Same puppet master.
Yes. That's what I was saying earlier when what I said about the governor extending his rule. There was no pushback by the so-called opposition party.
Yeah, well, some people think that the left and right paradigm is just so people don't really see what's really going on behind the scenes, and they just keep fighting each other. Which, you know, it's a genius plan if you think about it.
I believe it for a long
It's worked perfectly.
Sure. Sure. I believed it till 2000, till the trade towers got hit. I shouldn't believe that. I didn't pay attention to it. Somewhat. But when that event happened, and there were so many things that could have been done so easily and so quickly, and nothing was done. It's like, this is all bullshit. You know, the guys started waking up.
Two. Yeah, wait, go down a bit.
No, go.
Even that event, you talk to people about what happened, you know, there. Nobody even knows that there was a third tower that went down. They have no idea about Building 7. Not a single person I've ever asked has a freaking clue what Building 7 was or what was housed there.
That's amazing. The architects and engineers have been making some progress. I think they just filed some papers this last week.
30 years later.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, I mean that came out at the beginning. I mean that came out immediately, but they were shot down. And a lot of them.
Well, that's how they make
a lot of them refused to give up their pensions and their salaries, so they kept quiet.
Yep, that good old trap of money. That's what's caused most of the issues around the world with compliance, really. I mean, everyone wants to keep their job, so they just go along to get along. And, you know, honestly, when I had my first job, I was like, there's no way I'm going to do this. And so, you know, the next 5 to 10 years of my life, we're planning how to get out of the system because it is a trap. It's slavery.
There's a tea.
Crazy. Woo!
Yeah.
Living out of an RV for the last 10 years?
With the cup.
Wow.
This one. Island.
These are from Inga, which you can. Good?
Yeah, excellent.
Perfect.
Yeah, I got into an RV because I'm an accountant, so I'd work tax season, and then I was living in Texas, and I would go back to Oregon, and then my parents got sick, so I went through the whole pharmaceutical chemotherapy, questioning doctors route. I saw that whole process, and at the time I almost died and that's when I started getting into health because I realized, I mean, I just had, and I was on pharmaceuticals my whole life, and then finally I reached a point, and I started going around to different doctors, and so I'd live in my RV, and I would go volunteer at like True North, and then I went down to
The
just
fasting
different
clinic?
Yeah, the fasting clinic in California.
Right.
And so I just kind of got into traveling then, just by nature of trying to save my life. I went up to Arnold's, and Arnold's Way.
Oh, yeah.
So I lived outside of his place in my RV and just trying to find how to heal myself.
Look.
Quiet, Mark.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
and then it just kind of stuck. I like the freedom of being able to up and leave, and it's convenient sometimes. I mean, now I'd like to have a farm, but
Are you by yourself?
yeah. I had my cat for a long time, and then he died, and I swore I'd never get back in an RV, but when all this stuff happened again, I got back in an RV.
So you're living the less is more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting because I'm a little bit of a prepper, and I'm like a minimalist prepper. So
Yeah,
I have enough grape juice on my RV to to get me through a couple months.
You don't need much. You don't need much when you're living this kind of lifestyle.
Right, exactly.
Not much at all. Dry days, you don't have to worry about anything.
I haven't bought any grape juice this year yet. I won't buy any grape juice till next year at the earliest.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That much?
Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
Well, I
Get some more.
was buying it at Costco. It was the best juice I could find. I mean, it's far superior than anything else that was out there. But I also noticed across the country through the site here, through Master Fast, that there were starting to be shortages, and they were not restocking when they ran out. So I just started stocking up. I just stocked up.
I would stock up for at least until the end of the year.
I had 35 cases at one point.
Yeah. Right now we have.
I got that same prepper mindset.
Yeah. Well, it's also
I got
you
16 cases left. That'll get me through for quite a while.
Well, you figure most people stock up on water, so in some ways that's the water.
No difference.
Yeah. Much easier to drink grape juice.
I mean, you don't need to eat.
It's good grape juice.
Well, Master Fast always resonated with me because, I mean, one of the reasons is because I had somewhat of a prepper mindset, because I've felt this coming for a long time, and actually something different. But the idea of not, I mean, food is probably the biggest vice, or not vice, but it's the biggest control.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And if you can release that if I can release that from my life, then that is the ultimate freedom, right? To just be able to walk out and need nothing. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
No food around today? No problem.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
You know, and just that, exactly. It's the mindset that you can that is even more powerful than, I mean, just how many people are afraid to miss a meal?
Oh, but I remember going way back. I'm younger. I was introduced. This woman was fasting. I was in my either 19 or 20, very young, before I started fasting. She was fasting for a few days or something, and she was kind of lightheaded and stuff. And we're looking at her, a bunch of us, like she was crazy. you didn't eat for, because we never missed a meal. Up into that point, well, I missed maybe a few meals here and there, but when you're really sick, you just doesn't want any food because you're throwing up or whatever. But growing up in an Italian family, man, you're eating all the time.
All the time.
There's always food, a lot of food.
Joy, you've been around for a while, right, Joy?
Yeah, I've been in and out.
No, but since when? Probably near the beginning?
Well, I'm a good friend of Kelly's, Kelly and Gary.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So, and Kelly and I know each other from Dr. Moore. I used to work at Dr. Morse's, and I worked there 2013.
Right.
So a bunch of my friends kept telling me about Master Fast, and see, I had fasted with Lauren Lockman, and then I also fasted with you might know, Gino, Victoria Bidwell. Do you remember her name?
Right, well.
She worked with T.C. Fry back in the day. She wrote a book. She's crazy, but it was fun. But so I fasted quite a bit back in the day just to get myself to, but I just had a really hard time. So I swore I'd never fast again.
Right.
and then my friends all got into Master Fast, and they kept telling me to look into it, and so then I did, and just start. It's kind of like what you're talking about before, right? You were talking about that. It's just kind of, you take little pieces, and I've always believed in fasting, but my experience was, I think I was just really sick, and going from being really sick, because I had, my eyes were black inside.
Right.
So I have no doubt that I probably had cancers in my gut. And so to go from that to then fasting the next day, and then breaking it, and then binging, you know, like it was.
Yeah. The biggest challenge is the ignorance about fasting, and how specifically and especially master fasting will bring out all your weaknesses. And if you're not ready for that, and you don't do your homework to gain that understanding, and allow the process, whether it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 years, then you're not going to be a happy camper. You just have to allow the process to unfold. And there's going to be a lot of uncomfortable things that you're going to be going through. And that's the challenge. People don't want uncomfortable. They want comfort. And what does food bring people? Temporary comfort, right? They have their meal, knocks them out.
Yeah.
Temporary comfort, but long-term discomfort.
Right. So, we've brought out the new understanding, getting into the fields and all that, and facing your mirrors and so on and so forth. The general public is not ready for this stuff. And that's why we just close it all down, put it in a beautiful little group. Whoever's ready, we're here. And there's a lot of closet master fasters out there, a lot. But they just don't let anybody know anything. They'll send us messages here and there. But there's a lot of closet master fasters. Like I said, our website was crashing this past few weeks. People just using that website. But look how many people are here on the call tonight. How many people do they get it? If they're not here, they don't get it. We should be thousands of people here sharing and building that path more than ever, and feeding the rest of the planet, because we can do that. What we're doing it on our own, but the more the merrier. The more power it brings.
Slowly.
It's happening, but what happened, as Master Fast rolled out, people, just like any new novelty kind of thing, it's like going to a circus, new events kind of thing, something new, new drama, blah blah blah. That's the way people take things, and that's the way they take Master Fast. But even though the people took it in that way, and they went through a long digestive vacation, their life and their belief system completely shattered and changed. Like they're changed. A lot of those people that left, a lot of them came back, and so on and so forth, because you cannot go through this without being affected and changed. Even though you're not ready for it, you're never gonna forget what you went through, never. And that's the power of the fields. So we continue. 31 years, like I was saying, Steve, earlier, nothing much has changed. And why I was so reluctant to share any information, specifically and especially on social media. But I'm glad I did, because just one person makes it all worth it. Honestly, just one person makes it all worth it.
Well, and I think these are really challenging times for people, and emotions, that's why there's probably less people right now, because they're, I mean, I know for myself, when I'm driving around and even when I'm just out and about, I mean, I have to keep my environment really stable to do Master Fast properly. And that's been a challenge for me in the last couple of years, but I can only imagine for a lot of people right now, just with all the emotions and everything.
With all the economy crap going on, people don't know if they're going to be able to feed themselves, house themselves the next day. It's a lot of pressure, and it's all that is in the fields. Mm-hmm. We're all absorbing that. We're all being affected. So we have to raise our field strength and feed them. And in that feeding them, we get stronger. We have no alternative right now. Right now, we're in a more vulnerable stage than ever than we've been in our lives. So we have to stick together and continue to push out that plough like never before. Yeah, we're going to be going through more challenges. Yeah, it's going to be hard. Yeah, it's going to be stressful. Yeah. So what? So what? Yeah, what else are we going to do? We're going to sit back and put our masks on? No freaking way.
But I find that my decisions are way better.
Yeah.
Such a clarity of thought.
Yeah, the mind just clears up and you become laser
100%.
sharp.
Laser
You
sharp.
can't compare. Yeah.
It's just like
Only when you're detoxing on the dry days, like maybe if you're going for a longer drive,
this is a healing reaction.
you can feel.
But anytime
dizzy.
But in that state, you don't care about anything. Nothing else matters. So
yeah, like you're in that state, and people are just talking caca to you. What? Like, okay, I just elevate their souls. They're just not ready. We can plant seeds here and there, like you said yourself, Joy. Things you do and so on and so forth. You're planting seeds, and those seeds may sprout, because I've seen that happen over the years. Just planting seeds in people, and sometimes you don't see people back maybe 5 years. Oh yeah, when you told me that, it was always in the back of my head, and then finally they start doing something. It happened a few times. Quite a few times in these last 30 years, introducing people to different than mainstream lifestyle living. I used to have tons of people coming through the house when I was growing sprouts and wheatgrass and stuff. Tons and tons. I've taught tons of people. My door wore out how many people I used to have coming through here. Honestly, because I used to do shows and stuff, and
even your friends, right? Like some of your friends.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's just keep planting the seeds. Never give up. If you want to continuously feed yourself, you got to continuously plant seeds. You can't stop. Nature provides for you, but we're not in nature in these big, large cities. So we got to plant the seeds and give it a little helping hand. But nature is amazing, and it runs true. It cannot go off track. It always runs true in the what's the word I'm looking for? In the railroads that have been built. It cannot go off those railroad tracks. It's going to go wherever those railroad tracks go. It runs on perfection. And then just because we don't understand it does not mean anything. Things happen in nature, mostly now because of man's interference, but even though nature is always doing something to correct itself, and man's looking at it as sciences and saying, wait a minute, we need to help it here. Leave it a frick alone. You don't need it. You don't need to do anything, because anything we do, it destroys it. It's very interesting, but it's beautiful to be part of this experience and watching the transformations and so on and so forth. And how many people we've seen that were bedridden, no more bedridden. It's just beautiful just watching that, and many, many other miracles and people have gone through. So we continue, and now more than ever we need each other, and let's stay focused. More now than ever. It's tough. Where are you going to see people now? More than anything, always food. Food stuff is busy like crazy. Anything to do with money. That's the only two things that people are concerned about. Health is always on the back burner for most people.
It's not the emergency.
Until it's gone. And then they want to be saved. And
it's not usually it's not gone, but they are very afraid.
Well, it's gone if they continue to do what they've always done. Yeah, it's gone.
If you're told you have cancer, then you're gonna freak out, and good luck changing your lifestyle at that point, because you're freaking out. It's a long lifestyle change is a long-term thing. It's not Master fast is a long-term lifestyle. It's not an
It's a
event.
lifestyle. It's not long. It's just lifestyle. That's it.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
You choose it or you don't.
So, so when when people are afraid, they're not going to.
The most people that are challenged are the ones hopping around, just continuously looking and looking and looking. I was there. It's just
Distractions.
because you're not in a good state and you're always trying to find something, to save you or whatever. It's just this is the way we are as humanity. We're looking for those instant fixes, which are not really available at this moment.
Impatience.
With what's happening in plasma science, we're going to see some miraculous things coming out in the next few years. It's coming. It's coming. It's here. It just needs to be implemented and manifested. It's the information's there, and it's going to be. I think we'll all be able to experience it in our lives. Some pretty amazing things. So it's all in the fields. It's all in the fields. You're not going to be able to play with matter and come up with these things. Playing with matter is what we've always been doing and is what we have now because we were playing with matter. And you come up with GMOs and drugs and vaccines. Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you play with matter. Looking in the microscope, trying to dissect and figure it out. Good luck. So ain't going to happen that way.
It's basically going back to God, That's
of course, right? Creation.
Yeah, because if you look at the way religions were, I am sure GMO is something. It's a big sin, but it wasn't there back then, But all these things have nothing to do with God or balance.
You can call it sin or just not working in line with creation's laws.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
Which is God, yeah.
Everybody has different ways of
naming it.
And this and
but
that.
It's the same thing. It's the truth. It's God.
Our physical body works on the principles of the universe. Mm-hmm. The same principles of the universe. And every atom works on the same principles of the universe. Nature works on the principles of the universe.
And you don't need to look too far at the whole universe. Just look within. It's from the little atoms, our cells, to the whole universe, right? It's just exactly the same thing.
Building of the star.
Yeah. So you don't really need to complicate things.
Creating the collapse of the stars.
So you don't need to look too far and get into, we have to study the science of the universe. No, you don't need to study nothing. You just need to be quiet. If you need to do anything.
Look, Mark, you got a son.
Right. You just want to be quiet and, what is this?
Me, son.
I look weird.
Why?
We're in the stars.
Stars? What stars?
Italy down there. That's what it looks like. Yep, that's Italy.
Yeah, it is.
Only Europe.
You've got Italy. Somewhere there.
Why?
We're having fun.
And Marco's left.
Here?
Yeah. We got to have fun, especially now. Man, oh man, you can't see even people smiling. You think that's not affecting all of us? You're damn right it is. And when you enjoy your smile at these children, that's awesome. Awesome.
I don't see anybody smiling because everybody's got a freaking mask on. They're wearing them at work, and even the folks that I do the group meditation with, there's only 2 of us that don't have masks on. They all got masks. God.
Yeah, it's tough times.
So I don't know if you guys have heard of Larkin Rose, but he has a whole program on how to talk to people that have been mind controlled, and the best way to do it is just to ask them questions. So that's something I've been practicing.
Who was that? Who'd you mention?
Larkin Rose.
Larkin?
Yeah, Larken Rose, Rose. He's got some really great stuff out there. And he said that if you're dealing with someone that's under mind control, you want to start asking them questions like, do you think that mask is helping you? Do you think, just get them, because what you're having to do is turn the brain back on.
Right.
And
I've done that to people, and they don't have any answers.
yeah, well, you just keep asking more and more questions.
Yeah.
Just to, because the goal is, I mean, they don't have an answer because they're totally a zombie.
Right.
You know, they're not there.
Yeah, I've asked people, do you believe that mask is helping you, or will protect you? They don't have an answer. Well, you know, I'm just in case because I have my son or my mother, or they don't have an answer. So yeah, continue.
Yeah.
We continue. You know, it's just how much of a trap people fall into, believe that mask is going to protect you. You know, people completely avoid you walking on the sidewalk wearing their masks.
Yeah, it is exactly like this is politics, but like it's exactly like health, you know. And people, waiting for the doctor to tell them what to do, basically, with their health,
Yeah.
you know. But so I am absolutely not surprised that people are following the authority. They have done it all along. Why wouldn't they do it now? The majority of people are just following, right? They're not really stopping and thinking, and if they think about it, they're not really doing anything about it. And it just goes back to, you know, each one has to do their job. You know, each one has to be responsible and stand up for what they believe is true.
Mm-hmm.
In every aspect in life, health is just one, and politics is another.
And what that does sometimes,
the masks is all politics.
We stand for what we believe in true, and sometimes it kills us, right? Like diets, or wearing a mask, or getting injections, or whatever. That's the reality of, you know, our choices, and that's okay if that's what people choose.
Yeah, that's okay. But it's important for us, you know, to do our best, you know, to be with like-minded people, and kind of as well. So not only as individuals, you know, and you know, we're blessed. We're all blessed. Like we do have friends who are into this as well, and you know, I keep receiving emails. So all I have to do is just read the emails and watch the videos and educate myself, and maybe get together with my friends and, you know, help somehow be part of, you know, making a change, you know, worldwide, you know, within Canada, but also outside, you know, worldwide, helping each other. And that's it. I feel, you know, we don't have to do much.
No, just send up laugh.
You know, just do your part, educate yourself, do what you feel is right when you go outside, and educate your family and friends. Yeah, sure, you get resistance here and there. Yeah, but what can you do? It's just part of it. Be respectful, and you know, if you can make changes with your friends, go ahead, as long as it's peaceful and truthful and towards peace and balance. That's all we need. Yeah. But I'm not gonna focus on the people who are wearing masks. That's their job. But I'm not gonna wear a mask if I believe I don't need to wear a mask. Simple. I don't believe in the virus being transmitted from one person to another, so I'm not gonna wear a mask. And if they give me a very hard time while shopping, then I wouldn't shop there. They lose my business. I go somewhere else, you know. And if everybody is very difficult and everybody wants you to wear a mask, then I guess maybe you shouldn't be shopping at this time.
Fast.
Not only food, but also, you know, different things. You know, people shop for these days, you know, construction. We're doing a little bit here and there, and we need stuff from outside.
Barbara, how you doing?
We can't hear you. Maybe unmute.
Now there I'm unmuted. Yeah, I'm just trying to challenge myself every day to see, you know, where I'm going to create value, where I'm going to communicate meaningfully with people. I'm Toastmasters. I'm supposed to do a humor speech contest. I'm trying to. They say you can get right brain and left brain people when you get people to laugh. You can talk about all kinds of things that people have their guards up about, or that to work on my communication skills, and then to show actual proof with my life, to be so disciplined that I can show people, you know, here's calm, here's kindness, here's humor, here's some intelligence. So that's how I'm doing, and I'm dealing with mold. I'm dealing with mold in the condo right now.
Mold?
So I don't know how. Yeah, and I don't know how much I can blame that for how I feel, you know, how well I'm thinking, you know. This is a challenging year, I think, for so many people, right?
Do you have any water leaks?
Any what?
Water leaking in the place?
Well, I live on the beach.
Ah.
So, and I had a woman staying with me for one. All she wanted was open windows, whether it was raining or whatever. So, yeah. So now there's mold on the walls, on books, on furniture, coming out of the walls. So it's a big deal right now.
Ozone.
So trying to you know, be you know, bigger than what's going on in the world around us, right? So that we can encourage each other and show each other, you know, show each other what's beautiful and what's strong. And I'm hoping to, I'm trying to do this thing with looming, with people creating a new economy. To jump into the ocean with the sunrise in the morning, which is so empowering, especially when you have friends to hug and laugh with, because we're laughter yoginis, so we laugh for no reason at all. And that it's a strong way, it's a good way to start the morning, you know, and trying to understand how much. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, or running in the snow. Not all of us can, you know, be waking up at the beach.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like watching the Iceman, you know, where you can sit in the snow and put a wet t-shirt on your body. Wasn't he supposed to be able to do that? And he dried the t-shirt with his own body heat.
I don't know if he did that, but I know there are yogis who do that. He probably can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, supposedly he did that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just challenging right now for everyone just to keep their spirit up, you know?
Yeah.
I know it's a little bit hard to kind of meditate sometimes, right?
Yeah, the very things that make us stronger, make us happier. Yeah, that's why it's good we connect with each other. You know, there's strength there. There's strength for the heart. There's protection there too. I found when I was really struggling, like someone will call me that I've encouraged before and encourage me back.
Absolutely.
And they'll say, "Come on, let's chant together." I'm like, all right. And
Yeah.
thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing Saturday nights. I have no idea why I struggle so much with the numbers and the plates and all. I had to drive my friend to the airport. I'm so sorry to be late, you know, because yeah, I want to be with you guys. I want to be learning and encouraging.
It's great to have you, of course.
Yeah, the most.
Thank you so much.
Most
And
interesting.
one of the reasons that I was work with the master.
What was that? You missed that, Barbara? You cut out?
Oh, I'm not sure. Let's see.
Okay. Cut out.
You're muted.
There we go.
There we
Now
go.
you can hear me, right? Yes. Good. Good, good. So, been doing a lot of talking to women about women's issues, trying to understand women and love and giving, and that can be confusing.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
I'll never understand what.
You're a man. Men and women are very different. Yeah. Yeah. And women cannot understand men neither, but they do their best, I think. They do a better job, I think.
Well, the energies are different, and the purposes. There is different purposes for each one of us, but all under divine order. It's all beautiful.
Yep. Something's wrong with her.
The computer, the connection.
Yeah, just a connection, Mark.
Yeah. Should we do that meditation?
Yeah, we can go into the meditation.
Meditation.
I think going on for hours is too much for people to rewatch. Just hearing us blab. We got to
Be the change that you want to see.
Yeah.
I'm babysitting her cats right now. All right.
So let's start a meditation. If you want to stick around.
Yes. I found a plug, so I can keep the energy going.
Okay. Marco, you want to meditate?
Yeah, Mark's gonna meditate. You gotta close your eyes.
Okay.
For how long?
Not too long. You gotta keep them closed until we say open them. Okay. Put your hand here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here. Put your fingers like this. Yeah.
And close your eyes.
Hold these like this.
Just
Like
relax,
this.
relax.
Yeah. Yeah, but rest your hands. Okay. Close your eyes.
For how long?
And we're gonna go into the divine world now, right
Just
now.
like
Okay.
sleep, okay? Almost like sleeping. But put your head out.
Okay, perfect. Get in your relaxed state, close your eyes. And let's focus on the wonderful breath, the breath of life on this realm, which is mostly misunderstood. We don't really know why we breathe, even though science tells us it's necessary. As we inhale, we take the breath, we drive it down deep, focus down into the groin area, bring the breath down all the way into the groin area. Not large amounts of air, small amounts of air, but drive it deep. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. With each breath, we become more and more relaxed. We could feel the body losing its senses from being more and more relaxed. Now let's take the breath on the inhale. Start on the tip of the tailbone and drive up the energy up the spine. to the top of the head on the inhale. And on the exhale from the top of the head, bring it down, front of the body, back down, around the crotch, back to the tailbone. And keep cycling the air up the spine. Inhale, down the front, exhale. Inhale up the spine. Exhale down the front. 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 Now let's bring that focus to the area below the belly button. And just imagine a mini tornado spinning counterclockwise with the tip touching the area below your belly button. And as the tornado spins, it forces an implosion within, brings everything back to balance in that area. With each breath, the tornado spins faster and faster. And bringing more and more balance to that area. And when we think about that tornado spinning, what are we using? We're just using our emotion and intent. The infinite energy supply of the universe is available to all of us. And that energy can fuel us, nourish us is a better word. This supply is abundant and infinite. Even though we're led to believe we need different energy sources, the more we tap into these realms, the limitless realms, the more we understand and the more we believe and the more we experience. Keeping the focus in that area below the belly button, the tornado spinning faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. We can continue to focus on the tornado, putting all our intent and emotion there, and focus on the breath, driving it down deep into the groin area. We can put a lot of focus on these two things very easily and effortlessly. Now we'll move our attention to the genital area, bringing that tornado into that area. For the men, it's the testes. For the women, it's the ovaries. Bringing balance to that area, the reproductive organs, where creation continues in this realm. With each breath, that tornado is spinning faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. As the balance is restored, the field strength gets higher and higher. You can feel the physical body letting go of all obstructions in the physical, mental, and emotional planes. actually starts through the spirit, emotional, mental, and physical. A tornado spinning faster and faster with each breath. As we continue building our field strength, we notice our breaths getting less and less. As we nourish ourselves through the fields, not even the breath is needed. The more we obstruct, the more we need to breathe. The more we need to breathe, the more we need to eat. The more we need to eat, the more we need to drink. And we start a vicious cycle. So we reverse it. Keep focusing on the breath spinning faster and faster. The genital area. Feel that area being restored to balance. Let's move the attention to the perineum between the anus and genitals. And tornadoes spinning faster and faster with each breath. As we continue to focus, we can feel how effortless it is just to float through space. As we go within, we expand outwards. We are part of the universe. The universe is part of us. tornado spinning faster and faster with each breath. Let's move our attention to the tip of the tailbone. The tornado spinning faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. With each breath, tornado spinning faster and faster. Let's move the attention going up the spine to the area between the two kidneys. The two kidneys just sit inside the bottom of the rib cage in the back. You can feel your kidneys. If you put your thumbs in your lower back, just below the ribs, those are where the kidneys are located. Put the attention right between them on the spine. And with each breath, the tornado spinning faster and faster. These are the king and queen of the organs. Amazing, vibrant, vital organs. Perfection of creation. Self-cleaning filters, and much, much more. Kidneys are very much affected by emotion, fear specifically, but all emotions. So let's feed them and nourish them with Plav as we continue to focus on the mini tornado, bringing balance in that area, releasing all obstructions that we're holding. They no longer serve us, we let them go. We were taught that without water, the kidneys could not function. And we believed it. You know, once the answers come in plain sight, you'll know the truth of how miraculous the fields that created the kidneys and the physical body can create all the hydration your body needs. What we consume, the body stops to make. And as we continue to obstruct ourselves, proper functions of the physical body, mental and emotional bodies, get shut down. As we reverse and de-obstruct, everything starts to return back to blueprint in perfect working order. Once we open up the kidneys energetically, everything changes in the physical body. This area is very challenging generally in humanity right now. So let's send Oplav to all of humanity. All the women, men, children, infants, and fetuses that are being developed. Let's send extra plav in this challenged area to all of that humanity right now. As that tornado is spinning faster and faster, spewing out infinites of plav, amounts of plav to everybody who needs it. And let us elevate to all the souls so that they may choose peace, balance, correct conduct over anything else. First and foremost, let's thank these kidneys, our kidneys, everybody else's kidneys for all the wonderful work they do. Let's move the attention up the spine to between the shoulder blades. And continuously focusing on the tornado spinning faster and faster with each breath. You may see colors, you may hear sounds. Fields produce everything that is needed to bring balance as the tornado is spinning faster and faster. If the mind ever wanders, just bring it back. You are in total control. You can feel the spine stretching out and elongating, and releasing all the obstructions. Tornado spinning faster and faster with each breath. Let's move the attention up the spine to the atlas, the top of the spine, which holds the skull. With each breath, tornado spinning faster and faster. Bringing balance to that area. Let's move the attention to top of the head, center of the skull, 1,000-point junction. Focusing the tip of the tornado on that spot, spinning faster and faster with each breath. Bringing balance to that area. Tornado spinning faster and faster with each breath. Bringing balance to that area. Let's move the attention to front of the forehead, the third eye. With each breath, tornado spinning faster and faster. As we bring balance to that area. continue to focus on that area. With each breath, the tornado spins faster and faster. Let's move the attention down to the throat, thyroid, voice box. This is how we are heard, the physical realm. The most powerful way is through the fields. With each breath, the tornado spinning faster and faster. There's a lot of obstructions and humanity in that area, in this area as well. And let it all go. Recycle it back where it came from. Each breath spins faster and faster, bringing balance to that area. As we move the attention down to the heart chakra space, strongest field to the physical body, 5,000 times stronger than anything else in the physical body. And this is how we connect through our intent and motion and send out in fields from the soul through the heart in this physical realm. With each breath, the tornado is spinning faster and faster, spewing out plaf to whoever needs it. Strongest fields. As we continue to focus and the tornado spinning faster, our field strength increases. Our heart chakra field strength increases. Everything else increases. Higher field strength. The higher the field strength, the more people we can nourish through the fields. Keep the focus sharp. Any thoughts that pop in your mind, send them plaf, bring them back to balance. Let's move the attention to the solar plexus, above the belly button, just below the rib area. As we continuously focus on the tornado spinning faster and faster with each breath, we bring balance to this area. Let's dissipate that tornado and focus on cycling the breath again. From the bottom of the tailbone up the spine and inhale. On the exhale, down the front of the body. And just do a few cycles on your own. When you're ready, start moving your physical body again. As you come back in, move your toes, your fingers, your neck, your head, shoulders, knees, ankles. When you're ready, open your eyes. Your hands. Come on, Mark, faster, faster,
Yeah.
faster, 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 faster.
Yeah.
You feel it?
Yeah, I feel it. That's long.
And Brittany's joined us.
Joining us, that's good.
Brittany, where have you been?
Yay. Cycling again. I'm back.
Cycling?
Not bicycling, but cycling.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
when you're ready.
And if you're ready, we're all here. It's there's the gift of the gab is very convincing from other people, and you will be drawn to all kinds of confusion and believe it's real when you have the truth sitting right in your brain. The soul sits in the physicality right behind your eyes in the brain. It's a little speck, and that can guide miracles. You don't need anybody else. You just have to learn to allow, stop. Well, you know, we suggest to surrender to it and let go of the Luciferic intellect, which is the gift of the gab, which is our sciences, our doctors, our lawyers, our politicians, our healthcare practitioners, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Specifically, all the high-schooled people. We elevate their souls. You know, they have to wear their white jackets because that's how they're trained to emanate that Luciferic intellect, which they believe is of higher order than divine creation.
Mhm.
An impossibility in my book. That divine creation essence is in your soul. Nobody can take that away from you or anybody else unless you allow it. And people will continuously draw you away from that. We don't have all the answers here, but your soul does. Each and every one of our soul has all the answers. We just have to allow the process. And there's no thinking involved. The thinking is the Luciferic intellect. We've all been there. How much more thinking, how much more knowledge do we believe we need to get? Look where we are with all this knowledge and all the thinking. We're all wearing freaking masks. Did it help us? Absolutely not in my book. But what do I know? I don't know anything. I'm just a little guy who's stubborn enough to not believe anybody out there.
Yeah.
After, almost killing myself a few times. Everybody believes they have the answer. I don't have any answers. I just help guide people to find their own answers. That's all I can do. I can barely do that because you're going to have to do the work. We're just supporting each other, go a little bit this way, a little bit that way, just little pats here and there. And that's all we can do. It's been an amazing experience, taking care of my mother. It's taught me so much more because, I thought I was in a complete emotional control until I had to do that.
No way.
Oh boy, what a wake-up call. What a wake-up call. When you have to nurture and take care of somebody who is not taking care of themselves, right? And you have to pay the consequences through their choices of life, which we see out there a lot. So
it's crazy. I tried to go backwards and then tried to go like forwards into stuff that used to work for me, and it wasn't. And like all those journeys with the doctors and everything like that, they'll never know that. They'll say you're perfectly fine, and they'll never have the answers, and you just surrendering inside. It's like I talked to my dad today, and he is so hopeful, but it was crazy. Like I can't go home to visit them because they're worried about COVID. And he said to me, I'm doing okay, yard work. We got our flu shots today. And I just sat there and I went outside and I sat with myself and I was like, as it comes, I need to surrender. And I cried for like an hour just knowing that he is such a good soul, but he believes all of it. He does. And I have to help myself, and then maybe I can help him. But I cried because I love him so much, but I can't make him believe unless I do the work on myself. I can't tell him not to get vaccinated. I can mention it, but they're going to do what they're going to do,
We can't make anybody believe anything, so it doesn't matter. What happens is there's a spark that happens within, and that's what's going to drive you. There's a little spark, and that'll drive you. If that spark is not there, you're just going to keep wandering, and that's going to be a lot of, I've been seeing this for 31 plus years, and nothing's changed. It's the same. I've seen a lot of people come and go when a lot of people are not here anymore, and it's because they just continue down the Luciferic realm, the Luciferic intellect realm. It has nothing to do with Lucifer. I call it the Luciferic intellect. It's the ego. Right? The ego, the mind that we believe that we can do better in creation.
The one that wants to like, it can sabotage, but then it thinks it can figure everything out to fix everything. And it's just like,
Anytime we go into
do
that,
it.
we're in trouble. That's how high.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
look, everybody's wearing masks.
Yeah.
Look at how many doctors and scientists and all this crap. There's on one side and the other ones are on the other side. And I don't believe either of them. What do? We go into dry fasting state.
There you go.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Like, and everybody else is wearing masks. Right? But you're going to go through challenges to be able to go into that dry fasting state and say hallelujah. Because it's going to be a rough ride for some people. Believe you me, it's going to be a rough ride.
There's such a freedom in it.
Mhm.
It's we cannot give you that experience. You have to go through it on your own. You know, you have to have the willingness to allow it to happen. And that's all we can say. We've been saying it for over and over for 5+ years. And the people who have embraced it, you've seen transformations. You've witnessed. Videos are out there. We don't need any more testimonials. We don't need any more. That's why I don't spend I don't have the time, but we don't want to spend any time doing, you know, well, if people want to do the interviews, yeah, we want to have more people share their experiences and share it on the page. Yeah.
It's already been proven, or just
Nothing to prove.
there's not proven, just it's already flowed everywhere.
As soon as the new understanding sparks that little light inside,
It just warms you up.
it's it. You just keep going, and then just allow that flame to expand. There's nothing to prove.
Mm-mm.
If you understand that the creation that created your physical body is the same energy and power to heal you, what's there to prove? It made you. How much more of a miracle do you need? If it made you, isn't that a miracle?
Yeah.
Out of the fields, here you are. And there you are, somebody else is going to try and convince you need this, that, and the other thing. And the other, okay. Go down those roads. We're here when you're ready.
Yeah.
As we've been mentioning. It's just, it seems so many miracles. It's just, I don't know. I don't have the time, but it's, I kind of see it pointless, you know, because people aren't looking for proof. They're looking for excuses not to do it. That's what I see. But we have to look for the reasons to do it.
Yeah.
And focus on that. And when we start doing that, then the little light and the spark starts happening. And you're going to go down that road. You're going to fall off here and there. No big deal. But you're going to continue because that spark is going to keep you going. And it's a wonderful time and place to be when you feel that experience. When you feel that experience, everything changes because the belief system starts getting stronger. And then you start asking more questions, the proper questions, which gives you the answers in plain sight because they're always there. We were blinded by them through some obstructive veils. But the answers are always there because when you get the answer, you're going to go, my goodness gracious, why didn't I see that before? It was always there. Because where was it? It wasn't hiding. It was there. But for some reason, we couldn't see it, right? Because of many, many things, the programmings, et cetera, et cetera.
We wanted to reach outside to find it, but it was like, I remember when you said that, you know, once you experience that clear body, like, I remember it was like years back, but it's like, you can't forget that. You can't forget that ever. And I meditated this morning and I let my higher self come through and I said, I just want to go be by myself and do this. And then my mind came in. It's like, yeah, but the other house you were in by yourself has mold. And so I just quieted it and I said, go somewhere else, find another one. or be where you are and just be. Just do it. There aren't really any limits when you have the will and the trust. Like there aren't any limits to what you can do. Your mind is the one who makes all the reasons why you can't do something.
Who let you in? Brenna?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I'm closing my eyes. I can't see anybody coming in.
She was meditate.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're not going to try and convince you. And we're here when you're ready, because we're not here to convince anybody. We never have been.
Mm-mm.
Just share the information and we support. And so, it's actually kind of draining trying to convince people. That's why years ago I said, that's it, man. I'm done. And I started growing sprouts and stuff, and people started coming.
Yeah.
Because they can see that there's something going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're drawn to it and whatever, but convincing people,
Not gonna
Not your
happen.
job. Nobody's
not
job.
my job.
Nobody's job.
We put out the information so people resonate with different. A lot of people may not like me. It doesn't matter. It's not my problem. But there's people resonate with different people, so they may see an interview from somebody and bang, wow. There's something there that lit that little spark. Just a couple of words or whatever. COVID. And that's it. But we're all connected. We're all one.
Yeah.
We're all flowing with that.
The only reason that they wouldn't like you or somebody is because there's a part of themselves that they don't see,
Yeah,
Just like with any human being.
I grew up in a kind of a rough way, I wasn't schooled very much.
It's okay. You can change.
Barely got my grade 12 and stuff.
Who cares?
No, it doesn't. I'm just saying
It doesn't
that
mean anything.
it doesn't mean anything. But I don't look at things like everybody else. Most people look at things through that. The only way things are proper is through proper English and all that stuff. And I don't see that as any importance. I just work through the fields. MFS was built through the fields, not through English.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter, but also we are responsible for the way we talk, and we're responsible for.
Yeah, but, the fields are what's important. When you transmit through the fields, it can override any word.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've seen happen. So
You can be in like such a high vibration and just like smile and just say hi, and it could be the most powerful thing. You can be in a low vibration and
exactly.
you had a bunch of philosophy and it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, there's some people that are gifted with beautiful words and poets and stuff like that. It's power. Not all of them, but
Qualify.
let's get down to the basics and let's tap into the soul and let's forget about the languages. Just forget about the languages for a while.
It's all about the ego.
Yeah.
Breaking down the ego. Letting go.
And I've thought to myself like that in me, I'm like so ready, and then the body's in a fragile state, but then I say to myself, I want to be alone and go with myself and start then when I can just really feel into it.
If you were so fragile, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah. So I either just do it where I am, or if I need to create the space for myself just to feel at home with myself, then I do that. But just do it. Whatever it is you have to do, just do it.
Yeah. Just
Don't wait.
Think about how much of abuse that we do to our physical bodies. Some of us more than others. Steve was sharing with us last time.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to think, how the hell did I live through that? It's because of the resilience in the design of our physical body. It's nothing to do with man. we're just destroying ourselves over and over and over. And the body continues to go.
You have to remember that God created our brain and our ego too. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's all okay.
Who gives a crap? Just do what makes you feel happy.
Yeah.
Simple.
if you're, happy being in a miserable pain state, be in a miserable pain state. Some people, they're happy that like that.
It's not that. It's the comfort. Sometimes you're not
Yeah.
comfortable enough to change, and that's okay. That's okay. Then stay where you are until you feel safe and secure and motivated enough to try something else.
Hey, we've all been there.
Most people will not change until the pain becomes
So great that you can't stand it anymore.
then that's you're not there yet.
Yeah, but and it can be also emotional, not only physical, right? Like
emotional.
like
It's
the
all
pain can be also emotional.
I'm talking emotional, not physical.
Like you can be depressed, and you can also have so much pain as well. That's another physical pain. Yeah, they're all connected, but you can simply be psychologically depressed, and depressed enough that you change, or physically in pain enough or whatever, yeah, or not, yeah. I mean, and that's totally fine, yeah. Totally fine. I mean, really, who are we to criticize each other?
No.
We have to accept each other for where we are.
Criticize.
And if we are happy where we are, then why change? I look at older people, I love older people because it's like a story, you have a story right there. It's so beautiful. You can learn so much from older people. Like for me, my grandparents growing up, it makes, I used to ask, how come everybody looks up to them, and that makes me feel there's more to learn about them, like I want to be close to them. I want to learn more. Of course, the knowledge, the more life they had, more experience. So sometimes you find older people who are not happy, okay? And that is very, very sad. They're not happy where they are, okay? That is very sad to watch, because it just tells me that they didn't do what they wanted to do. Simple. If they are, if they don't care about their health, okay, but at least they're not complaining, then I don't give a crap. I love it, okay? As long as they're not complaining. Don't fill my life with your complaints. I don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. But if you, if you're happy and you're not complaining, good for you. I mean, I love it. The other day we saw your friend's mother. We went to his friend's home. He called us to pick up some Concord grapes. He has Concord grapes growing all over his front yard. It's just so beautiful, his backyard. And it's just so beautiful. Actually, I saw it from so far, The whole area is so beautiful. And I saw the grapes, grape trees.
Vines.
And I didn't see the grapes, but I saw the vines, like a big area. And I was like, oh my God, Gino, look at this house. It's so beautiful. And he stopped right there. That's his friend's house, okay? I saw it from so far. And I was like, oh my God, this is they're just dangling down. It's more than 50 years old, these vines. You can see it's like big trunks.
His dad planted them.
His dad planted them, he passed. And he doesn't care to eat them. And his mom is 93 and he just lives with his mom. And they have grandkids and other kids. And they come maybe once a week, but it's a lot of grapes. We went to just one small area. We filled a box and a big bag as well. And we were like, we still have a lot in the fridge, it's a lot of grapes.
He calls me, come and get him, the raccoon, before the raccoons get him.
It's full. And then his mom, towards the end, came out. He said, oh, this is, my mom, 23 years old. And 93 years old. And I just went to her. I was like, I had to kiss her, she's so beautiful and happy and smiling. And I mean, walking on her cane, and she has a caregiver next to her. But it's just, I love to see, you don't see older people like that, Everybody is so complaining. The only thing she's complaining about is that she cannot do what she used to do, like play around, that's the only thing. But other than that, she's still walking. and she's still smiling and she's still happy, and she's like, come, did you try these grapes? These are different. Take some of these are table grapes. Yeah, take this, take that, come, take more, take it's just so beautiful. But yeah, you know, you can learn so much from older people. There's so much wisdom, and as long as they're not complaining, it's good. If you're gonna sit down and complain 24/7, I don't want to be around you. Nobody wants to be around you. I don't care, you know, I have so much sympathy for people, but like, hey, listen, everybody has a life and we have enough challenges in our lives. So don't think that, you know, you're more challenged. Please, you know, figure your life out and be happy. Whatever it is, just be happy. Stop complaining. And then, you know, like this is I feel, you know, if you want to complain, be on your own, complain all you want, and get out of that. When you're ready to get out of it and see other people, then yeah. Otherwise, just figure it out. I don't know what to say, you know, like, is it rude to say stuff like that? I don't know. What do you think, Steve? You know, like.
I remember one of my aunt's father, he was dying, it was cancer. He had was it the asbestos stuff in the lungs?
Sam.
And he was in a lot of pain. And every time he would have, you know, a lot of pain, he would say, grazie Dio, meaning thank God. It was amazing to watch.
Wow.
Amazing.
Amazing to watch somebody who's dying with thanking God for the pain.
Because it can be worse. He knows.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll leave it with that.
Have the faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's really sad to see so many older people not happy. It's just, it breaks my heart, man. I don't know. My grandparents were a little bit happier. I feel they're still happier than the older people today. Older people today are not, the majority of them are not happy. It feels like it feels like they wasted their lives. They're not happy about their lives. You know? That's how it feels to me. Like they couldn't figure out how to be happy. They couldn't figure out how to have faith, how to thank God. I mean, basic stuff. They couldn't do it. Complaining about small things, and I don't know. Yeah. You know, I think they're honestly, a lot of them have been on so many medications that they have really didn't take care of themselves, and that's what they have to live with, and unfortunately they have to live with it.
What's she saying?
What do you think about
life is freaking amazing.
What do you think about the older people who complain? It's not fun to be around them. Nobody wants to be around them. What about you, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Maybe they're realizing they got sold a lie all their lives.
What are you gonna do?
Are you gonna make everybody's life miserable because of that? What can you do?
They don't know what they're doing. Forgive them, but they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I know. Nobody is perfect. I know.
I just thought of something when we were little. Actually, when we were.
It doesn't matter.
Huh?
All the guys I used to go to the gym with, they're all, we used to just.
I just thought of.
All guys, so we were not nice to each other.
When we were little and like when we were teenagers, like my grandmother, she was really funny. She had this Brooklyn accent, and my grandparents were so funny because my one grandpa, he had forgotten like everything. So she would always say that like he needed her help. He needs her help all the time. And she said it was so good. But then he would call her and he'd be like, Sand, did I brush my teeth? And she's like, what? What do you want from me? Why do you want my, so she would complain about all these little things, and she would like the dumbest thing. She'd look outside. She'd be like, look at that tree. It looks so stupid. And like, she'd do these little tiny things all the time. And then we would bring up something. Hey, grandma, remember when you really liked that? And she would say all the time that she liked this thing. She's like, I never said that. So then me and my brother started making up songs where we would like take her voice and we would like sing. Her favorite food was like something, it was like pork chops or something. So we made a song and we would start teasing her in a very like jolly kind of way until she just couldn't do anything but just start cracking up. We just had to, we were talking, we're like, what do we do? And he's like, we got to get her to laugh. We have to make her start laughing. And then she started to change a lot, but we just had to, you know.
Fine.
So Brittany needs to find that joy again in her life. Brittany needs.
Yeah.
You're laughing now.
I know, it's so nice to her. It's so cute.
Stay in that state. Don't let it go.
It's nice to be a child again. Simplicity.
Most of my friends here are quite a bit older than me. One of my best friends here is 83 years old.
Wow. How is he? Is he happy?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
He's a good guy.
Nice. It's nice to see happy people.
Yes, that's good.
Did he abuse his body
No, he's in real good shape.
before?
No, very good shape.
He was always good.
Hmm?
That's awesome.
Just have to like be grateful all the time, because that's what I did, like not just letting it happen to me, but doing it myself. Like sometimes thinking I was doing the right thing, but pushing my body so hard that it's like beating it like a rag doll. So now I just have to be grateful that I'm here where I am and just treat it kindly. The animals help too. It's interesting. If there's something that it doesn't, like at first I'm not sure, but it doesn't feel right to do, the squirrels or the birds, they'll just come up to me and they'll just stare at me. And so then I'll see that thing as an image in my head again, and they come closer. And then when I let it go and I think of something else, their energy just like lifts. So it's like we don't forget, but like in society, people forget that like they're always, they see, you know. My bird used to, when I'd have even just a happy thought or a revelation and stuff, he just does this like crazy whistle thing. He starts dancing and stuff. But then if someone comes into the house and they're angry and they start crashing things around, he starts screaming and then he starts throwing his things on the floor. And I'm going to see him again like soon, but I miss him. I can't go there because they're worried about COVID. They don't want me going home to see them. And there was one day I said to my boyfriend, I was like, you go through so much and then just that fear stuff just is silly. And I just said to him, like one day I said, you know, my parents have this thing where if you talk to them about something, they're going to have all these reasons why it's scary. But if I just pick my stuff up and just go over there one day, just show up at the house without a mask on and everything like that, like they're usually happy when you do that. So I thought about it. I said, I might just go over there, you know. Yeah. I just want to see my bird. I just want to see them. My dad's old and it doesn't matter how old you are, but that's his mentality. And he's doing pretty well, but he's having a tough time. And I just want to go over there and hug him, you know?
The worst thing that can happen is they will kick you out.
Yeah. Just be glad that I was there. You know what I mean?
Same with Masterfast. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just do it.
Jump the fence. Or the
Right. Not so bad. Who said that's
Jump the
bad?
fence that way or jump the fence the other way. It's like, might as well be surrendering to your spirit, jumping the fence, but you trust that you probably won't, you know? And if you do, then just like, I remember Rana said that one day, you know, the woman or the spouse passed away and she said, thank God. And, you know, it's well, thank you. Just trust so much.
Oh, that's her
because
son.
the universe knows what it's doing, you know?
That's her son, her first son out of 7 kids. So, yeah, I mean, imagine, I can't imagine a son dying. It's just crazy. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing probably to go through emotionally.
Yeah.
My friend, he's 78. He lost both his sons 22 months apart.
Wow.
One in a car accident, one in a plane went down in the ground.
We're gonna see.
Wow.
22 months apart.
Yeah, the new
He
generation.
didn't drink.
The one in a car accident and the other
One
one?
in a car accident, one in a plane crash.
Holy my.
And he was sober and he did not drink.
Wow.
We're gonna see
It's crazy.
That is absolutely
children
crazy.
not outliving their parents.
Oh, it's no way.
Yeah.
No way.
It's happening.
Yeah, even grandkids.
This generation for sure.
There's the genetics are so weak, and
No, but the lifestyle.
the
Forget
lifestyle.
the genes.
Yeah.
Lifestyle is even worse than ever. Like the junk food and all that.
The diet they're eating and the stupid electronic devices.
Yeah. That's
Now the masks on top of it.
Yeah, but I think it's the food
Yeah.
anything, huh?
it is.
More than the
I mean,
more than
that's what it always was for me. It's always was the food. And that's what I'm paying for now. I'm working on that now because that you think it's like okay, you'll always have cravings until you really break through and it becomes less and less and less, but it's not worth any of it. And I had to get to my breaking point where I thought to myself, like, even when I was really well, I would go through life and I was just all kind of like up there and happy. And then, my grandfather passed and stuff like that. And I used to say to people, like, why can't it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's all fine. Just the universe, like it's all fine. And then going through like my own end of it and then like, messing myself up and then coming to that point where you're facing like the possibility of not making it in the face. And then all those things in the past that maybe I was going so fast that I didn't stop to appreciate, you reflect and you start to feel. And that's what I think I realized is that I wasn't letting myself feel. And that's where the food habits came from, is that I was in my head and I didn't want to feel things. And now it's unweaving that. But yeah, it's the
Addiction.
The addiction.
Describing addiction.
It's exactly that. It's just addiction. And you think it's your friend and it tricks you every time. It's always a lie. It's always a lie. So it's just every time it comes up, it's just like you just steer focus and you just say, nope, thanks, but bye. And it doesn't even, for me, it has to just be out of my head. Like, and if I see it and observe it, then just send it love, but stay away from it.
What do you think, Mark?
Good.
There you go.
There's the answer.
Head chief.
All good.
All good.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, huh?
This is the first time you came on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all things, there is a first time.
There you go. You guys
It's
are
good.
every
Yeah.
Okay, let's call it a close.
Close, guys. I have to go home and then eat something.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
And come back Wednesday
We'll
night.
see you again.
Wednesdays, yeah.
Yeah, Marco.
Cheers, Steve.
Ciao, good
See you
night.
Wednesday.
Ciao.
All right, see you again.
Yeah, no. Go home and then